What up, people? It's your boy Chris from Gooner Eagle Eye. I would say I'm back, but I guess I've not really ever been away. I don't really like to make videos for making videos' sake. You know, I like to feel like I am providing you some sort of interest or some sort of service in order to talk about something. You know. And yeah, so I guess let me talk about my up and coming subjects before I go into this video. So I've got to hit Stell up again now that Man United have confirmed the signing of Ibrahimovic. You'll probably see me when I next shot. Might even see if I can do it tomorrow. I might hit Stell up tomorrow and see. So Stell from the Bloke Show will be on, and he'll give his thoughts. He's a Man United fan. I don't know, but yeah, it's interesting to get. I mean, we ain't got fuck all to talk about, so I might as well talk about his two signings that Man United have recently completed. So, and I want to know what his thoughts about gigs are. So, I'll be sure to hit Stella up, and you guys can from there we'll be able to tune into that and see if you just to change it up a little bit, change up the show a little bit, change up the show's dynamics a little bit, and be able to tune into that and see what he thinks as well. In terms of today, because like I said, usually I don't like to make videos without some sort of reason. Quick thoughts about England and their bullshit. Are we surprised at this moment in time? Hold on, let me just adjust my shit here. Not that you guys will want to see me better, but making it look like I have a cheap piece of shit. Anyway, so I've just adjusted the blurriness of my camera. It was annoying me as I was looking at it. So yeah, my thoughts about the England game is: are we really that surprised? I mean, come on, people. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm an Arsenal fan and I'm used to disappointment. But man, the way England just they effectively became a cuckold for fucking Iceland that game. They were so bad, and all of them underperformed. What do you expect when you put so many Spurs players in the team? But man, they were so bad. And there isn't really a lot. Like I know I've had a couple of people hit me up on DMs, like saying to me, why didn't I do a video about England? What can you really say other than it was terrible? It was shit. It was disappointing, and especially on the back of the Wales-Belgium game, it was a complete and utter contrast. You're probably hearing my phone going off in the background. You know what is happening on my phone right now? So I'm having an argument with my mate. I really should put him on this channel. I think it would be interesting having a back and forth with him because he's very, very, very opinionated when it comes to football. I think it'd be interesting to have you guys see about the type of things he says and see if you have any kind of questions that you want to ask him. So recently, there's been a story that's come out about Cara Walker, and I understand the name of the video, and you're probably thinking, "What the fuck am I talking about England?" Just bear with me for a second. So it was a story about Cara Walker and about the fact that he texted a pretty hot chick, but a chick, saying that he wishes he was in Ibiza with her on the eve of the football match. And me and my mate are having a debate about that. Like, my mate argues that does it really matter? Like, who gives a fuck that he's joking around with some girl that he obviously wants to nail when he goes to Ibiza? My argument is, well, instead of putting yourself in a position where you have to answer such things, why not, I don't know, focus in the match? give 100% commitment in that match, so you're not making stupid errors that led to that first Iceland goal. And for me, I think it's a good illustration of what England player mindset is like, and why, more often than not, their Premier League form, I don't know why I'm holding this, but fuck it, I feel like holding it. So why their Premier League form never translates to their England performance. And weirdly, because he's also an Arsenal fan, the motherfucker's defending. He's also an Arsenal fan, but he's really viciously defending Cara Walker, saying that, don't get me wrong, that he questions all those players' commitments, but that he doesn't understand how sending a text like that on the eve of the match affects his commitment. And we're going back and forth, back and forth. For me, I guess I can segue into the subject at hand. You need a manager who's not going to be softy with these motherfuckers. Really, my number one choice to have been England manager, if all managers were available, and we're not talking about fucking Pep, Jose would have been perfect. I honestly believe Jose would have been perfect for the England manager job. He's quintessentially English. Everybody hates the English team. Everyone hates Jose. That's strike one. Secondly, I think you need somebody who is going to be strong enough to make strong decisions. Decisions that need to be made. For example, Wayne Rooney can't fucking play in the midfield. Now, I know that's quite a dangerous statement for me to make ahead of a new season that Jose's about to manage Wayne Rooney in the Premier League life, and where he could quite possibly put Wayne Rooney in the midfield. I'll tell you what, I'm willing to bet that Wayne Rooney doesn't start matches. I honestly believe, I think he'll be strong enough to say, you know what, Wayne, you're not my best striker in this team. You're damn sure my best midfielder in this team. We're not going to just change the team to accommodate you, so sit the fuck down. Simple as that. Simple as that. For me, I think that Roy Hodgson, he's getting a lot of abuse now. I personally have nothing against him. I liked him as a West Brom manager. Let's just call a spade a spade. There are some managers who are not big team managers. Whether it's your Pulis, Moist to a certain extent, your Brendan Rodgerses, and I know I say that, and he's at Celtic. Fine, he can be at the biggest club in Scotland. I'm talking about the biggest club in England. So your Brendan Rodgerses to your Roberto Martinez, and some might even argue he doesn't even suit a small team. There are certain managers who their ceiling is here. Your Sam Allardyces, your Tony Pulises. And Roy Hodgson just fits in that mold. And every time he makes a step up, whether it's Liverpool or most recently with England, there's a dangerous problem. As much as I hate Harry Redknapp should have got that job. 100%. For whatever it was that scared England in the end, they went for their typical safe choice. And then they employed everyone knows the rest. For me, so now there is no clear candidate for this job. It begs the question, who do you go for? I've told you guys before that I think Arsene Wenger What I'd like to see him do is see out his contract in peace. Hopefully, touch wood, God willing, wins that Premier League title and goes off into the sunset. That is what I'm hoping happens. So that then Simeone can come in and completely change the football in that place, because we need it. We need someone to come in and he's going to hit it like a tornado. From an England perspective, they're being linked with Arsene Wenger. Now, I get the appeal. You know, Arsene Wenger, I mean, I watched a funny interview very recently about how, from a French journalist, and he damn near disowned Arsene Wenger as even being French. He was basically saying, "Oh, isn't he basically English now?" And you know, we wouldn't have him as the French manager anyway, and you guys may as well have him. Yada 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 yada. For me, I do realize I say for me a lot. I apologize. In my opinion, I understand it. You know, he's very charming when things are going somewhat right. He's very good with the press, very, very good with the press. The press will tell you he's very good with them. He Let's call a spade a spade. He's very experienced. You know, this England manager job, they seem to like their experienced managers. He has a lot of qualities, a lot of good qualities, and you know, for all of his bullshit about, you know, not winning trophies and that. One of his biggest bugbears with the media is he doesn't ever have to deal with a transfer if he becomes England manager. You know, he'll get to work with young kids. He's he's expert at that. I would say that's his major selling point. You know, say what you will, I'll tell you what, going into this new season, and they're talking about all these top Premier League managers that we suddenly have. Wenger's one of them still. Let's not get it twisted. You know, I have my reservations about whether he can still do it, but his CV tells you he's one of the best Premier League managers. So I can see the appeal. For his sake, more than theirs, I hope he doesn't become England manager. I think they will destroy him. To be honest, I say they, the media, the fans. Gosh, if Wenger feels like he's having pressure on him now by Arsenal fans, times that by the whole nation. Don't do it. And to be honest with you, I don't think he will do it. He very recently ruled himself out becoming the French manager. So I'd be very surprised if all of a sudden he then decided to become England manager. Yes, it's a big job, big profile, high profile, and I get that. But it doesn't make, for me, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Yeah, it kind of, so it's like, well, what does England do between now and the end of his contracts? I can't see Arsene Wenger leaving now. So what are they going to do? Put someone in charge? Gareth Southgate is hilariously already rejected the interim job. In my view, what I think will happen and what probably should happen is that I think that England will eventually employ an English manager. And I think the two people who will be favourites, and rightly so, is Glenn Hoddle and Eddie Howe. I think it's way too early for Eddie Howe. However, they may think, well, let's throw him in there with an experienced hand like a Terry Venables or or even a Glenn Hoddle. You never know. So they might decide to just do that. And I wouldn't necessarily be against that. I think if Glenn Hoddle gets it, you know, he does seem to have the press with him. He seems to have a lot of the punditry guys with him. I think everybody wants to see England progress. Maybe if Glenn Hoddle took the position and then potentially brought like a relevant coach on board, like I can't see Neville staying on, so maybe I don't know, like a decent coach, someone who's been coaching, like a Stuart Pearce type, you know. I don't see that being impossible. I actually see that working. But I hope that for Wenger's sake, he doesn't need all that stress, you know. Just finish his year contract, buy some fucking players. Gosh, buy some players. I want to feel excited about a fucking transfer window. Buy some players, stop enjoying his French TV commentary, Dom, and actually get on with buying some players. And hopefully, in a year's time, we're talking about Diego Simeone. That's my hope. That's my hope. But for Wenger's sake, I hope he doesn't take the job. Anyway, that is me done with my rabbiting. I'm actually gonna end this video. Now I'm gonna do another one. I'm in a video making mood. I might even make 3 or 4 today. So watch out for them. Do comment and subscribe to this video. I hope you like it. Thumbs it up. Get it out there. Spread the link. Do whatever you got to do. You can follow me on Twitter at Colossal Chig. But for now, stay tuned. I'm going to bang out some videos. Take care. Peace.